So Gotham Knights is confirmed on console to only be 30 FPS, and it's got a lot of people pretty angry, pretty upset, frustrated. And I wasn't actually going to cover this topic, but there's one specific thing that I came across that really kind of did it for me. And I was like, all right, dude, this is just like next level uncool in my opinion. So we're going to talk about it here in this video. If you guys do enjoy this one, and be sure to stick around. We do a variety of gaming content. We talk about the games and play the games. So we got gaming news, and we also have like let's play style walkthroughs, different things like that. It's always a good time. Like I said, I love the best of both worlds. I love doing both, playing and talking. So let's jump into this, because there's a lot to cover. So we're going to backtrack a little bit. We're going to go back to the start. So we're going to go back to where Warner Brothers Games Montreal's confirmed that Gotham Knights on consoles will run at 30 FPS, okay? So they posted this in their Discord. And basically, they were talking about the availability of a performance mode for Gotham Knights on console. They said due to the types of features we have in our game, like providing a fully untethered co-op experience in our highly detailed open world, it's not as straightforward as lowering the resolution and getting a higher FPS. For this reason, our game does not have a performance and quality option. It's just going to run at 30 FPS on consoles, and that's that. On PC, it's worth noting that it's going to be, of course, unlocked or uncapped. So depending on your PC, you know, it's going to depend on how you can utilize the game on PC. Now, we're going to talk about that some more in a second, okay? And you got to keep in mind, I've always been more of a console gamer. And so the tides are turning, my friend. The tides are turning, my friends. Then we have Lee Devonald, if I'm pronouncing his name right, on Twitter. So he works for Rocksteady. And he chimed in on this whole thing as well, saying that he wished gamers understood what 60 FPS means in terms of all the things they lose to make the game run that fast, especially taking into account that we have a current gen console that's not much better than a last gen one. He actually went to elaborate in that, and essentially what he was saying is that the Xbox Series S is bottlenecking the PS5 and Xbox Series X. It's the Series S's fault that this is happening, because they have to account for the lowest denominator. And in this case, the lowest denominator is the Xbox Series S, right? It's 1440p. And, you know, as far as frame rate goes, it really depends. So oftentimes with games like this, it's going to end up being 30 FPS. And if it's 30 FPS on the Series S, it's going to be on other console platforms as well. Now, the thing is, I don't know, like, again, I don't know the ins and outs of all this. I don't know if there's a way that they could just have like an FPS selector where for Xbox Series S players, it would be 30 FPS. And for, you know, PS5, and I mean, I guess the problem is for console, I would assume most of it is like, I don't know. I really don't know game development, so I might just be talking out of thin air on this one. But I assume that the difference between the PC version and the console version is that the console version, it translates pretty closely across all platforms, so PlayStation and Xbox. And so, you know, they don't have necessarily the time and the resources to kind of make, you know, like a version for Xbox Series S and then a version. I guess my thought process, and again, I don't know what goes into this, right? I really don't. But my thought process is with the PC version, they take into account the fact that there's going to be a ton of different kind of PC setups, right? Some people are going to be playing on ultra settings. Some people are going to be playing on low settings and somewhere in between. Some people are going to be running the game at 720p, maybe if they have like a potato for a PC. And other people, if they have like a really beastly PC, they'll probably be playing at 4K and, you know, max, you know, uncapped frame rate and all this. So the big question I have is, why can't you do that for console, right? I don't know what goes into it, but with console, if you had a way to do that, just like PC, then it's just left open, right? Where it's like, okay, well, if you're on a PS5 or an Xbox Series X, you can. I mean, I guess that is the idea between quality mode and performance mode. And they're saying that, you know, due to all these different features, they weren't able to do that, and it's not as straightforward. But this is where I'm getting confused. Why is it not straightforward for console, but again, for PC it is? Do you know what I mean? Because from my understanding, PC, it's uncapped. On PC, if you look it up, Gotham Knights PC specs, I actually didn't really look it up prior to this. Well, not the specs sheet rather, but you know, everywhere that you look, it does say that Gotham Knights is going to be uncapped on PC, which is very interesting to say the very least, because again, why can't they do something like that for console? Again, I'm not a game developer. I don't know everything that goes into it. But I don't know, be kind of surprised if it's that complicated. Anyways, we have the Gotham Knights system requirements right here. So basically, they recommend, there's kind of the recommendations, things like that. But under the additional notes, they say on low quality settings, you're going to get 1080p 60 FPS. So you are going to get up to 60 FPS on PC. Again, depending on all the settings you're going to be using, right? But again, why can't you do that on console? That's the big question that I have. Why can't you? I just don't understand it. Now, here's where my frustration kicks in. This is where I kind of I was like, okay, now this is becoming a serious problem, because on console, and I'm going to give you guys Canadian prices, but it's the same thing in other regions. If you look up in the US, wherever else, it's pretty much the same thing. In Canada, the PS5 version, I'll throw you guys a screenshot even to show you guys. I took the screenshot myself. $89.99, the standard edition. You can see it right there. Gotham Knights standard edition, PlayStation 5, $90 Canadian. That's probably going to be like $80 USD, right? Keep in mind, Canadian currency is a little bit different. Now, on the Steam store, and I've seen people in the US saying the same thing. So this isn't just a Canadian thing. This is in the US as well. On Steam, if I throw you this screenshot up, you can see that the Steam price is $79.99 Canadian, $80, $10 less. So we're paying $10 more for the PS5 version, but we're getting an inferior version of the game. And I just don't understand. Like, I get on PC, it really depends what kind of console, or not console, what kind of specs you have. But either way, if you have the specs, I mean, even on low settings, you're getting 1080p 60 FPS on low settings. So if you're getting 60 FPS, even with, like I said, a potato of a PC, then why are we paying more on console? That makes no sense. And we've seen that a lot with other games as well. And it's become a very frustrating thing, because again, we keep paying more for console versions, and I don't understand that. I really don't. If someone could explain it to me, I mean, maybe there's something I'm missing, and I'm willing to admit that if there's something that does make sense, if someone can explain to me, and I have a kind of like a light switch that goes on, I'm like, okay, I get it. But right now, I don't understand that. I don't understand why we're paying $10 more for a game that is inferior. It just makes no sense. That alone makes me want to switch over to PC. And like I said, I'm someone who's been hardcore console gamer my whole life. I have a PC that can run games at pretty good settings, because obviously for content creation, some games are only on PC, or also video rendering, things like that, whatever. Don't have to get into all the details, but the point is, it's not that I can't do it. It's just that I prefer console. I don't know why. Okay, call it nostalgia, call it just what I'm used to, whatever. I just prefer console. But there's so much more that's just pulling me towards the PC side lately, because I'm like, dude, like this, I'm paying $10 less on PC, and I'm getting a higher frame rate. I'm getting 60 FPS instead of 30. I just don't understand that. I'm paying less for a superior version of the game, which makes no sense to me. So again, maybe I'm missing something, but I just want to talk about that quick in this video. Like I said, I'm not a game developer. I don't know what goes into it. I am really excited about Gotham Knights. I'm really stoked to play it. But my frustration lies in this right here, is that, okay, why can't we apply the same kind of rules that we have on PC, that kind of format, to console? Why is it different? Again, I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know the logistics and all that. And the second part is, why are we paying more on console for an inferior version? That makes no sense. It should be the other way around. We should be paying less on console if it's only 30 FPS, not more for 30 FPS. makes no sense to me. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comments below. That's my rant for the day. If you guys enjoyed this one, be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more, and all that good stuff. Like I said, we play the games, talk about the games here on the channel. We'll play through Gotham Knights. Hopefully it's going to be a great game nonetheless. But let me know, where do you plan to pick it up? Console or PC? And what do you think of this topic? Again, chime in down in the comments below. I'll see you guys soon, another one. Stay safe, stay well, and until then, game on.